of it. I love the push of a new way forward. Talk to us about the thinking behind the ad and the appeal you're trying to create with its release this morning.
Well, look, I think, first of all, good morning. But I think that this ad really encapsulates what this election is about. It is a choice between two different visions, as you heard the vice president say, one that's looking towards the future and one that's looking towards the past. But within that, what we know is that we have to continue to introduce the vice president to voters across this country and what she stands for and what she means by that future. And so when you see those tidbits in there about building more affordable housing to make housing and mortgages cheaper across this country, about putting a price gouging ban on groceries, especially in extreme circumstances, that's what the vice president is coming into office fighting for, and she's fighting for the middle class. And so I think that ad really sums it up very nicely. And so we're going to continue with this tour that was aforementioned to get the vice president and Governor Walz and the spouses across the country talking to voters in every single media market immediately after the debate.
Quentin, let's talk about the states that are going to be barnstormed. Vice President Harris going to Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Governor Walz going to Michigan and to Wisconsin. Do you have a sense inside the campaign of the way your map is shaping up and the most likely path to victory?
Every single one of those states is in play. This election, we've known for a long time, is going to be extremely close, and it's going to come down to who works the hardest, who is communicating the most with the voters, and who is actually putting in the work. The vice president has been out on the road routinely, as well as Governor Walz, in every single one of the states. We've got a reproductive freedom bus tour that is traveling across this country that will integrate into this tour. We've got surrogates across this country fanning out, speaking to voters, and so it's going to come down to who puts in the work on the ground. And I'm also very proud of our organizing team and our field teams in the battleground states who have for months been putting in the work to communicate with voters on a daily basis in every single one of these states.
Quentin, what are you most concerned about and what are you most excited about with these next couple of weeks really barreling down? I mean, we say X amount of days until Election Day, but the reality is, as you well know, people start voting much earlier than that.
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime you're talking about elections that are beginning and people beginning to vote, there's the process of that happening. And we see Donald Trump already setting this up to be able to cause problems. We know that extreme MAGA Republicans like to play games with people's voting rights. And so, look, what I'm most concerned about is making sure that all these elections across the country go off without a hitch. And our campaign has invested very heavily in a voter protection program with council in all the states to make sure that we're going to do everything we can to push back on misinformation and disinformation so that people have the correct information when they go to cast their vote, whether that be in mail or in person. And then what I'm most excited about is continuing to talk to voters across this country. The vice president's joy when it comes to campaigning is infectious. And so she's going to continue to campaign as well as Governor Walz. And I'm excited to continue to help introduce them to the American people and define the stakes of this election.
Hey, Quentin, I want to pull back the curtain a little bit on the debate and sort of get your sense of the New York Times reporting on Saturday how Trump is approaching this. Quote, he has been briefed on Ms. Harris's past debate performances and her verbal tics. He remembers well her viral moment in 2020 when she debated Vice President Mike Pence and cut off his attempted interruption by saying, "I'm speaking." Referring to that exchange, Mr. Trump has privately told associates, "I'm not going to let her do to me what she did to Mike." Okay, y'all bring it now. Let's go. Everybody in the center of the ring. Let's mix this up. I like hearing that because that tells me Donald Trump is nervous. He's concerned. And so what does that say to you in your preparation, and how are you stress testing some of her messagings and, quote, tics to deal with Donald Trump?
Well, look, all jokes aside, we are taking this extremely seriously. Donald Trump is a skilled debater. He has been in the most presidential debates of any candidate in presidential history. This will be the vice president's first presidential debate as the nominee. And so, you know, we know that Donald Trump is preparing, as he has been for weeks. And so he's going to come ready. But so is the vice president. She is ready to talk to Donald Trump about the issues facing voters across this country and the stakes of this election, reproductive freedom, while he continues to double down down and wants to take away IVF and ban abortion nationwide in Project 2025. And so it's going to be an interesting debate. But make no mistake about it, Donald Trump will be prepared, as he has always been, and he is a showman. And so we know the stakes of this, and the vice president will be ready.
I mean, it's true. We saw that in the debate with President Biden, where just the bar is set so low for Donald Trump that even his showing any type of discipline is seen somehow.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yes.
Quentin saying he's a skilled debater, but we'll let that go.
Well, look, I do think that Quentin is right. Former President Trump, has been in a lot of debates. He is a skilled debater. He's a showman. And debates are about as much as policy as it is about performance. And so, Quentin, can you take us inside the vice president's debate prep? How is she? We have reporting from NBC News that notes that she is preparing for a variety of potential unscripted and perhaps history-making moments, including the possibility that Donald Trump makes derogatory comments about her. And this is according to the sources familiar with her preparations and some of who are directly involved. She's in Pittsburgh. We saw her yesterday step out for just a little bit, but she's going to be in Pittsburgh until it is time for that debate. Take us inside the preparations. What do the last couple of hours look like? I've been in a debate prep with the vice president before, but that was when she was prepping for a debate as number 2 on the ticket. Now she's prepping for quite possibly the most important debate of her career thus far.
Look, what I can say is that the vice president is preparing to be the vice president. She is going to show up and be Kamala Harris. She is going to talk about the things that she feels is most important for the future of this country. And, those are the things that are impacting Americans' lives. I'm not going to get into the back and forths, and I don't think that the vice president is going to be scripted. She has a message that she wants to deliver to the American people. And from the moment she got in this race, that has been our focus, is making sure that she is communicating to the voters who are going to decide this election in the manner that she feels is best fit as the top of this ticket. And so we're really excited for this debate.
Quentin Fulks, as always, thank you so much for getting us started. Now, to that breaking news out of Kentucky and a manhunt underway this morning. Police are looking for a person of interest in a shooting near a major interstate that left 5 people seriously injured. Police identified him as 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch and consider him armed and dangerous. Let's go now to NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar in London, Kentucky with the latest. Good morning, Priya.
Good morning. Yes, authorities are describing this person of interest as armed and dangerous. I'm here in London, Kentucky, outside of the Laurel County Sheriff's Department. The shooting happened about 30 minutes away. We're about 75 miles south of Lexington. The search will be resuming right now at daybreak. They had to stop last night because it got dark, but they're saying that 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch, they're now identifying him, allegedly shot into 9 vehicles along Interstate 75, seriously injuring about 5 people. All of those people are said to be in stable condition, but the mayor of London is asking everyone for prayers right now. Let's take a listen to what he had to say to the people who live in this area.
We are asking everybody in the city of Lemons to be vigilant and know what your surroundings. If you're home, keep your doors locked. I'm not asking anybody to panic. There is no immediate danger here in the city. But again, while these guys or this person is on the loose, we are asking everybody to be safe.
So authorities are describing 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch as a white male who's 5'10", about 154 pounds. As I mentioned, they do believe that he's armed and dangerous, and they're focusing their search right now in the woods that's right next to the interstate where that shooting happened. And they're asking people, if you see someone who looks like him, do not approach him, but report it immediately, guys.
All right. NBC's Priya Sridhar, thank you so much. Live in London, Kentucky. Next, Trump's latest threat to election workers as he lays the groundwork for a new round of election denial. Melissa Murray is here next to discuss. And later, the one and only Billy Porter will join us right here at the table in the studio to talk about Broadway for Harris and the work he's doing to help her win the White House. You're watching The Weekend on MSNBC.
App stores and smartphones have changed everything in our world. And just like an app store, Ethereum creates a place for others to build and launch new applications, which are owned by everyone on the blockchain. What if you could own a part of that ecosystem? CE. Registered access to Ethereum, available through your existing investment account.
Mom, with these sandwiches, I'm gonna be the coolest guy in the lunchroom. I need to practice my cool guy greetings. Sup. Sup. Sup.
This is how AG1 works to deliver foundational nutrition that tastes great too. Matching natural pineapple and vanilla flavors with nutrient density to start every morning right. Upgrade your daily habit today at drinkag1.com.
When it comes to tickets, pick TickPick. You're picking the best prices guaranteed, with no hidden fees ever. 360-degree seat views, and price tracking with real-time updates. So pick TickPick for your favorite band, your favorite team, or a new family memory. Pick from thousands of live events. Don't let overpriced tickets and fees get between you and a great night. No hidden fees, more savings. Download the TickPick app.
When I first noticed my hair loss, I panicked. That's when I found Hers.
Through Hers, you can find a range of prescription hair loss treatments.
It is very clear that it's worked for me.
Regrow hair in as few as 3 to 6 months. Get started today at forhers.com.
You know, I usually just do takeout, but I'm trying to be more of an adult, learn how to actually cook. HelloFresh makes it so much easier to do.
I just love that HelloFresh just brings it all to me. Everything is portioned out.
Using their recipe cards makes it super approachable and really easy.
It's so nice to not even think about what I need to cook for dinner. These firecracker meatballs are amazing. HelloFresh has 50 options to choose from each week.
We can pause anytime we want.
It's crazy that HelloFresh has everything that we've been craving.
HelloFresh is giving you 10 free meals just for signing up.
I love Made In. I love what Made In represents.
You would think a pan is a pan until Made In came along, and I went, wow, things are something better.
I love that I can trust Made In. Very rarely do you find cookware that can both be used in the home and professionally.
Those are the pans that we use at Alinea. We're going to have the best pans in the world at one of the best restaurants in the world.
Upgrade your kitchen today at madeincookware.com.
When your home needs work, where do you go?
Angie.
Angie?
That's where Angie came in.
With Angie, find top-rated certified pros in your area. Plus, compare quotes and pricing to help you get all your jobs done well. Find top-rated certified pros in your area at Angie.com.
Every election night reveals a story about the candidates, about the campaign that we just watched, but it reveals a story about the voters who decided the election. The presidential election is America's family photo. We take one every 4 years.
Donald Trump delivered a new broad warning Saturday to anyone who engages in unscrupulous behavior during the 2024 campaign. We don't usually read Trump's rants from his social media site on this show, but I do want you to hear his words this time.